Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Experience the PASIL Fish Market. Cebu City, down by the sea. Worth checking out these trucks. I think they come in from different islands. Some of them from Mindanao and other parts, and they come in on a ferry, and then they bring it into the PASIL Fish Market. This is the new fish. They've got the old PASIL Fish Market a little further down the road, and this is the new one, which is right on the sea. And I think they get some boats that come in and unload. I'll show you that area a little bit later. And a lot of trucks, a lot of trucks down here that are. We talked to a couple of the crews in the trucks, and they said, yeah, we came in from Mindanao. You know, they come in, they put them on a row ferry, roll on, roll off. And I thought we were going to get that big one there, and my girlfriend said later, we'll come back and get it later. But we saved a lot of money by coming down here to the market. Came down here about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Squid, favorite for many. For me, you know, squid doesn't have any taste, and it's kind of chewy, kind of like chewing on rubber. And boy, a lot of people, a lot of my Western friends like it. A lot of my Filipino and Asian friends like it, and I've tried it many times, and it's like, you know, you need some kind of sauce or something. But I don't like the texture, that rubbery, chewy texture. I can't get used to that myself. But lots of vendors down here. The fish starts coming in about 1 a.m. in the morning, is what I was told. 1 a.m. in the morning, and they're open pretty much 24 hours. Some of the stuff was out of stock already. We were able to find everything we came down for. My girlfriend likes a couple different types of fish, and we were having a family gathering, family and friends over for a little dinner celebration. Shrimps, and yeah, I think some of this, I know there was one thing we paid like $150 per kilo down here, and she said in the market, in the supermarket, it's 400 something per kilo, and in the local market it's like 200 something per kilo. A lot of the smaller little market and the stalls you find all over the city, well, they come down here and buy a lot of their stuff, and then of course they have to make money. They mark it up, and supermarkets have that overhead of the building and all that type of thing. Some type of shell type thing. I thought she was going to buy some of that, but anyway, more squid. And yeah, I forget. I asked a guy what they had to pay for the ice, and I don't remember what he told me. There's an ice operation where they're distributing ice to all these different vendors, and down the road a bit there was somebody who was they were taking blocks of ice and crushing it into much smaller pieces to sell to the various vendors. And this is one of the trucks. They come in with refrigerated, or they have ice. They've got those things are full of fish, I guess. Those containers with ice on top of them, because they probably had a day traveling from wherever they came in, whatever island they came in from. Mindanao is the seas around Mindanao, different areas, a big fishing area. A lot of, if you go up north end of Cebu Island, they're Daan Bantayan. A lot of fishing boats up in that area at the docks, different times of the day, and then they go out, I think, at night fishing, a lot of them. But yeah, there's a lot of fishing. In fact, there's a dispute with China about what territorial waters are Filipino, which ones are Chinese, and anyway, they've got some. Now this guy, they may be buying some fish and taking it back to maybe Olongo Island, Mactan Island. Not sure, but yeah, a lot of things go by ferry and by boat, banca. These outrigger boats, they call them bancas. Pretty decent size, and yeah, the freeway going to SRP, South Road Properties down there, where SM Seaside Mall is. And we're taking a tricycle ride out of here. I had to mute the video till I finally convinced the guy that he needed to turn the radio off. I don't need copyrighted music in my video. And he finally was kind enough to do that. 20 pesos, and you'll see how far we go on 20 pesos, about 40 US cents, less than that. And yeah, I did not see any other foreigners down there. I'm sure there are times when one or a couple go down there, check out the area, and or buy fish. But I know over the years, if you ask people, what are the dangerous areas around Cebu City area, and some will say Carbon market area, some will say PASIL. Very dangerous around PASIL. It's a poorer area, as you see as we drive out of this area. But you know, I've walked around. I've been here 3 trips, 10 years. I've walked around many places, day and night, and almost never felt uncomfortable. And I've met very friendly people day and night. I've had several times where people watched out for me, said, "Sir, you probably shouldn't be in this area." And one guy even got somebody to walk me out of the one particular area, I think a little later at night. And maybe he knew something I didn't know. Maybe some people were aware I was in the neighborhood and thinking I looked like an easy mark to pickpocket, something like that. We came down this street in a taxi, and it was very busy. People, trucks and multi-cabs and stuff, and tricycles, and very difficult for the taxi to get down through here. That's the old market right there. That's the old PASIL Fish Market. They still have a few vendors in that area, I believe. But yeah, you know, Filipinos see the camera with me hanging out of the side of the tricycle. It was actually my birthday, so the custom in the Philippines is the person whose birthday it is pays for everything for the birthday. And the last 2 years, last year we went over to Mactan Island to a resort, invited some people over there for a big feed. And the year before that, we went to Mactan Island, just the 2 of us, and enjoyed, I think, about 3 days. And we didn't go to. Year before that, we went over to Moal Boal, resort area over there, and stayed. Did videos over there, and yeah, was not happy with the place, the cabin, little place that we ended up getting was not what was listed and described on the site. There was some broker lady that was managing several different units for different owners down there, and but they didn't state that, and we ended up in kind of a dumpy little place. and should have been less, should have cost less for what it was. But anyway, I did insist on getting a little bit better place, and they moved us to a little bit better room. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, took this guy, my girlfriend said, take us to a taxi. And he did exactly that. He took us out, and there was a taxi parked on a street out here, and stopped there, asked him if he was available. He was. There's so many vehicles, and this isn't bad here for tricycles, but so many people have bought cars over the years, and they didn't have any place to park them, and they're parking them on these narrow streets. And I think it's the law now, and they've thought about doing that in metropolitan Manila as well, to make it a law that you can't buy a car unless you prove that you have a parking spot for it off of the street. And I think they've done that. I don't know, Cebu City, I don't know if Mandawi City. Each city could be a little bit different on that. But yeah, right now you get into some of these narrow little streets and got cars parked on either side. Long term, during the day, overnight, here's my taxi. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Safe travels to you all. And we'll see you in the next video.